Hello guys, welcome to a new video on Tower of God New World, and in this video we're going to have a look at the evolution buffs for Evankhell, Ren, and regular Yuri. We're going to read what they changed and talk about whether this has any impact on the unit's performance or not. I will say we're going to get started with Evankhell and we're going to read the Revolution 4. So before, Revolution 4 was just the guaranteed crit on the active skill. Now it also gives 600 energy. This is really not an important buff from my point of view, because all this active skill does is just make Evankhell vulnerable to just getting one-shotted from the enemies. You only want Evankhell to be chaining special moves. Whenever she casts anything else is going to be kinda trash and risky. So death sentence, this kind of effect is not really needed. I would have preferred invincibility during the skill cast and also a couple of seconds afterwards on top of the energy increase. That would have been really good. Like this is just whatever. So it's fine, but it's not really going to be that helpful. Now for the Revolution 5, here things change quite a bit. This is really good because the base version of the passive is going to have a 50% HP recovery decrease on the enemies that is going to be applied super frequently. So even if the enemies have any sort of debuff removal, this is still going to be quite good. And the Revolution upgrade now also increases it by an additional 40%, which is 90% HP recovery decrease. This is really good, and on an enemy like Urek is even more important because Urek has a 5% max HP recovery whenever he is attacked with the status effect. This effectively takes it down to 0.5% max HP, which is a lot less and really helps dealing with that stupid Urek. So really good buff here. Then we have an improvement on what she already had, which is the previous 500 energy when Ancient Power was released. Now it's up to 1000. This doesn't change anything for DPS Evankhell, because DPS Evankhell is still going to proc it before the first special move anyway. So you have Rainbow 5, you're going to get 500 energy, you're already 1k. Getting an additional 1k is not really that helpful. But if you go resistance Evankhell, then you might proc it after a few times. So you're not guaranteed to have enough energy already. You might have only like 100, and this will definitely be better than the previous version. So it's still fine, but nothing insane. Then we have the most important part. Well, I think the HP recovery decrease is more important, but still a really good effect here, and that is red element resistance decrease on enemies hit by any of her skills by 20% for 12 seconds, max 4 stacks. This is up to 80% red element resistance decrease. Really good. This helps her damage if you really want to go the damage route, but I don't recommend it anymore, I would say. With these two changes, I would rather build Evankhell as a tanky support. So she's going to be sort of a frontliner with a barrier resistance, I would say. And then you just leverage the HP recovery decrease and the red element resistance decrease. Both of them really good and will definitely help a unit like Gusten deal with annoying units like Warwick. So really good effect. I really like it. I think out of the three units, Evankhell got the better buff because they kind of gave up on her damage potential and just said, okay, use her as a support. And by design, supports are more future proof than DPS units. So I really think this is a good buff overall. Really solid. Then we have Ren. So let's have a look at what they gave him. And here it is. Limit Break, Revolution, Revolution 4. We have the passive upgrade. Before it was just Lopo BRM becomes untargetable for 6 seconds. Now it is up to 8 seconds and is also going to get a defense increase by 100% that cannot be removed with buff removal skills. This is pretty solid. I mean, the increase 2 seconds is nothing major. The defense increase is nice, is definitely going to prevent or help Ren survive a bit more, but unfortunately it does nothing for the bull, which is a bit unfortunate. Then we have the second part that I don't like at all. like it's really stupid to me because like while the bull is alive, Lopabiaran's attack is going to increase by 30% every 6 seconds, max 10 stacks, which means after 1 minute you're going to have 300% attack increase if the enemies don't remove it, because this is not unremovable, which is really stupid. I think they should have made it unremovable or easier to stack, because 1 minute to get 300% attack is a crazy long time, and being removable on top of that is insane because E is green. Green is supposedly going to go against blue. Blue has two units with buff removals, Garam and Warwick. Makes no sense. To me, this is really pretty stupid. But it is what it is, I guess. If you're not facing any buff removal unit, this is definitely going to be nice, but takes a long time to ramp up. So it is what it is. I don't like it that much. Then we have Revolution 5. This is going to make him invincible, that's the same as before, but also ignore the enemy magic resistance by 60% while using the special move. So that's just a 60% magic pierce on the special move. Not too bad, this is a straight up damage increase. There is nothing fancy about it, just again, a plain damage increase. Overall, I think this is going to help Ren just stay relevant a bit longer, but it will still fall off. I would have preferred to give more survivability to Ran and the Bull and also give more debuffs than this. I think this is just weird and unnecessary. I don't really like this buff that much. It's helping 100%, but it will still fall off. If it doesn't fall off at 225 or 250, it's going to fall off at 275, 300, but it's still falling off. I tried using him a little bit. It was quite difficult to make him, like I had to to put him against enemies that were quite easy, and even then with the like a lot of good supports it could still barely do well. So I don't think it's really a worthwhile unit anymore to invest. If they gave him the same treatment as Evankhell, so maybe I don't know, HP recovery block or something else that could have been more useful, then definitely. But like this, I don't think is really that great of a unit anyway, even after the buff. So that's it for me for Ren. Now let's go over regular Yuri. Let's see what they did for Revolution 4. The first part is the same as before. She's invincible until she hits the enemy with the passive. Fine. And then what they did is just adding an additional effect to the things she's already immune to. So in her passive, she's already immune to attack decreases and swiftness decreases. Now here they did the same thing for defense decreases. So whenever she's affected by one, she's going to instead get a defense increase. That's pretty much it. It's nothing insane. I don't like the way they manage these two upgrades because one of them, so this Revolution 4 is more tanky, the other one is more offensive. I would have preferred either they go both offensive or both defensive. This way is just weird, but okay. So Revolution 4 to me is nothing much, just a little bit of more survivability, but not needed. If you go with the Revolution 5, we now have a 60% physical pierce instead of 40%, so an okay increase, I would say. But most importantly, she now has an insane attack increase buff. This is a 60% attack increase for 10 seconds every time she is hit while charging up, max 20 stacks. Now this is pretty massive because you can get up to 1200% attack increase. This also doubles down with the special move effect that the more attack she has, the more sort of attack coefficient she can get on her special move, which is really insane. This really increases her damage by quite a bit. So I'd say this is now pretty good. The thing is still quite hard to sort of chain your special moves back to back to back. Bar reset didn't help her because looking at the way her special move works, you're going to proc Barry while she is already mortal, so you waste the 2 seconds invincibility, which makes very little sense. So all things considered, I don't really know how to feel about this buff on her. definitely your damage increased. If you're not facing units that again remove buffs, you're going to be in a good spot. Because again, the issue is that these can also be removed with buff removal skills. So if you're facing an Urek or a Garam, Garam is not too big of a problem because she only removes buffs every 10 seconds. So you still have quite a lot of time to get some stacks, so not too big of a problem. But a Urek that can remove it with any kind of skill, or an Universal Eva that can just spam her special move, are going to be annoying. So it is what it is. It is still good if you're not facing those units. She can dish out respectable damage. You can still go full resistance so that you can get a lot of attack increase from this one and still be able to reliably get a few special moves off. Also keeping enemies grouped up thanks to her provoke. So you can do that. It is a good buff, definitely better than Rand's buff, but they should have done something better for her as well. That's how I feel. So I think the winner of this buffing session or whatever is definitely going to be Evankhell. Second place, I'd say regular Yuri, and last Rand. That's my feeling. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys what your experiences with these units were. If you agree with me, if you disagree, which kind of differences you noticed. And yeah, looking forward to hearing from you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.